This beer has been aging in an oak barrel for a year. Not gonna make it any good?
I got bad news for you. 23 breweries closed in Pennsylvania this year. The good news is 43 open.
I will drink to that.
Yeah.
With Lou Bryson, I'm Glen Macnow. We're at Ship Bottom Brewery in Swarthmore for a new episode of What's Brewing? God, that was great.
That was awesome.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Monco Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.
Hey, welcome to What's Brewing. Along with my pal Lou Bryson, I'm Glen Macnow. If you look behind us, you will see a crowd of magnificent people all enjoying a beer or 5. We are at Ship Bottom Brewery in Swarthmore. It's a favorite place run by Robert Zarko, who's been a big supporter of the show. This is our this is our penultimate, episode. We got one more after this of the year. These are all the people who won our photo contest throughout the year. We're going to show you some of those pictures. We're going to meet some of those people. And we invited them all to come out with Lou, 45 winners, 43 said yes.
You don't get responses like that except from people like this.
Looking for a free drink.
That's right.
All right. We're going to start today with something because this place does Blendery, Barrel House in Blendery.
That's what they're about.
Right. So we decided let's talk about barrel-aged beers. So we got our swap. First of all, what we're drinking here is it's called Peaches. It is fermented and conditioned in Chardonnay barrels. It's a farmhouse ale with New Jersey peaches.
There's some vanilla coming through from the oak. That's nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
there is. Absolutely. Checks in at a very drinkable 5.5%. Not what you usually get. So
No.
that brings us to our swap. And this is what I got for you. The one I'm giving you, not quite as low in intensity. This is Dragon's Milk Tales of Gold Bourbon Barrel Aged Golden Ale out of Michigan, okay?
New Holland,
Here
right?
you go. Yeah, this is New Holland Brewing. They have this division called Dragon's Milk Cellar, and the website says, we know we're not for everybody. Basically, daring and bold stuff, all very strong. They make a 17% triple mash. Yeah, I know. I'm staying away from that. 11% cookie stout.
Wow.
This is a golden-hued, bursting in notes of caramel, honey, and oak, blah, blah, blah. A truly legendary experience. 11%, this one. Whoa, look at Lou's face. You all right, Lou? You going to make it?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be better for
Strong
it.
stuff, is that right? Oh, yeah. I mean, I taste the bourbon.
The honey, I taste the caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you bring me?
I brought you the classic. This is Bourbon County Stout, Goose Island. This was, the original barrel-aged beer.
So this is Goose Island before they went corporate?
Oh, no, this is Goose Island after they went corporate.
Okay.
It's just the, I don't mean it's from the...
You wanna
Yeah,
roll
I'm
up
trying
in
to
there,
use yours.
pal?
I can.
But this,
There we go.
But this is a beer you obviously you still respect.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
We talked
yeah.
about Goose Island earlier in the year. They got bought up by Budweiser,
Yep.
and we kind of said we think they
They did
we
put
don't
a-
like the direction
They
they
did
went.
put an awful lot of money into the barrel aging program.
Okay.
This
Oh,
is
man.
a 14.9.
Okay. Whoa, hello. I feel like I'm drinking a glass of molasses here.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. I got to
Yes,
tell
they
you.
got a little bit of soy.
All right, so let's go through this. This one that they make here with the peaches, I mean, I dig it. I like it. I like
Oh,
the
yeah,
peaches.
big
I like the
glass.
vanilla flavor. I like that it's very approachable. This one, the Dragon's Milk,
Uh-huh.
wow. I could drink that. I could drink one of those. This thing, I mean, this little
This is 6 people
taster.
splitting this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
think-
yeah, this is
All right,
enough. right
so
there.
what is? Explain what barrel aging is first of all. I mean, it seems basic, but
It is pretty basic. I mean, you're essentially taking a like a used whiskey barrel or other spirits. You can use other things, and putting the beer in it for anywhere from a week to 2 years.
And what do you hope to do with that?
You add flavor. I mean, that's what the whole thing is about. You want to
The wood, the whiskey, what gets
you're
imbued?
mostly pulling out wood, unless you've got what they call a wet barrel, a fresh one. You're mostly pulling wood flavors, just like the whiskey did.
Usually strong beers, but as we see here, not always.
Not always, but usually.
Okay.
Yeah. Stouts, imperial stouts, triples. I mean, this golden ale is neither.
Does it work? Does it work for all styles of beer?
I've never had a hoppy one that I really liked.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd rather just have the hops.
Does it? What other than bourbon? What other kind of liquors could I use?
Tequila. I've had a really good one out of a Laird's Applejack
I got news.
barrel.
I had an experience in college with tequila and beer.
You never want to go there again?
They did not get along inside of me.
Yeah, I've heard this
They wanted
story
to come
before.
out, and they eventually did.
Many people have a version of this story. It's funny.
Yeah, okay. I've seen it with rum. It clearly
Rum,
works, right?
Scotch. There was a Scotch barrel that was going around Philadelphia in the late 90s to all the different craft brewers. Everybody kept
The
aging
same
beer.
barrel?
Same barrel.
Wow.
It was really kind of cool.
Okay. And I know when you and I talked the other day, you said because barrel aging is working so well, people are doing it for other food and drink products, not just beer.
Yes. Maple syrup, honey, coffee beans, hot sauce. Tabasco
beans.
has always been aged in barrels.
Coffee beans.
Coffee beans. They actually put the beans in there for a month.
That would
roll them
interest me.
around every now and then, and then dump them out through the hole.
Is it always oak barrels?
Almost always. I mean, just like whiskey is almost always oak. It's just because oak works so well. But we're experimenting more. Chestnut, elm. Somebody used, ash. I've seen ash used. There's a South American wood, Amburana, that has taken bourbon by storm as a finishing wood, and brewers are starting to get it now too.
By the way, just brought a couple of others. This is Oak Spire bourbon barrel aged with 4 roses.
That is really wild because it's not actually put in the barrel. They put the barrel in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they like harvest the char from the inside and put it in the tank.
This one, you and I actually had this earlier the year when we were doing like
Yes,
Power
we
Beer.
did.
17%, folks. Nobody's driving home after this one.
Man, that was over in York, right?
Finbu-Linvinter Belgian quintuple.
Sure is.
Yeah, and
It was good though. It wasn't stupid.
Okay, and this is Eclipse Barrel Aged Imperial Stout from HW, whatever HW is, from 1922. It ages well. Anyway, when we get back, 2023 was a challenging year for the beer industry. A lot of closings, but as Lou said, a lot of openings, and so we'll talk about that. With Lou, I'm Glenn. We're at Ship Bottom Brewery in Swarthmore, and the show is... What's Brewing?
Okay, fam. Quick stop in Montgomery County, but we have to be at Grandma's by 5 p.m.
Do we have time to stop at the mall?
KOP!
Yes!
Do we have time to hit the slopes?
Skiing at Spring Mountain.
Do we have time for Santa?
If we have time for wildlife at the zoo!
Do we have time for food?
I have a list of 1,800 restaurants.
Yum! Do we have time for an overnight?
I feel like we're forgetting something.
When you spend the holidays in Montgomery County, your other plans can wait.
Honey, call them again.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing with Lou Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow. We are delighted. This is our season-ending party all year long. We had people send us great photographs, and we really got some great entries.
Yeah.
And we decided all these people, let's have a party. And so our friend Robert Zarko at Ship Bottom Brewing agreed to have all these, look at these reprobates all here having a good time. There you go. Give yourself a hand. Lou, I'm drinking the Hoppin' Hazy 6%.
Of course you are.
Yeah, well, there you go. Look at that. Look at. I love a beer that I cannot see through, and this is right there.
I love a beer I can see through. I got the Czech pills because I'm who I am.
You win for glassware. I'll give you
Oh,
that.
that's nice. Isn't it?
All right, we mentioned we're going to talk about kind of 2023 in review in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the local scene, and you did some research into that. let's do the bad news first and end on the up note.
Well,
What's
the
bad
news is 23 breweries closed in the first 10 months, and there are more closing to come. I mean, there was one that was kind of an interesting story. The guy's closing at the end of the year because he's got to go on deployment in January.
Well, okay.
Yeah, he just can't keep it running. So he's like, all right.
All right, but beyond that, is there like a common thread among those closing?
You know, I've heard people talk about like the COVID loans coming due, the pandemic loans coming due. But, you know, some of it is just, gosh, you know, we had an awful lot of breweries open. It doubled in 5 years.
Yeah.
And that just, some are going to be mistakes.
Without taking a shot at anybody, but is it like, you know, the good ones survive and the ones that aren't as good or aren't as well run, don't have the capital?
Well run,
okay.
Yes. Yeah. A lot of it is more money and planning issues.
Than the actual beer issues.
Although there's beer issues too, you know.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, what is the line that every happy family is the same, but every bad family has a different story.
Yeah. And listen, I've been to a lot of breweries, and the ones we've been to are really good. But I remember a few years ago going to a place, having their beer, bad beer, they closed down in 6 months. You're not going to make it if you don't have a good product.
No.
Significant closings along the way?
Stickman out in Royersford.
Yeah, they did good stuff.
Liquid Art, the former Roy Pitts, closed their, 3 operations, just boom, including the one in Philly.
Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry to hear that. And you, let's see, Devil's
Eye in Dillsburg, PA.
Which was a woman-owned brewery,
woman-owned,
right?
and I think completely women-staffed brewery. Just didn't make it.
All right.
Tattered Flag in York.
All right, let's go the other way. While there were closings, there continue to be a lot of new ventures.
43 like brand new openings or expansions.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it continues to do well. I mean, I thought it was going to croak in 2020, but I was wrong.
Yeah. Well, listen. I've been hearing the craft brewery market has peaked since like 2015.
Yes.
It's one of these stories that you hear every year forever, and
people want to tell that story, but
okay, but it continues to grow.
Yeah.
So some of the openings that may be significant. One, and it's a kind of a smaller thing, but you and I were both fans of Memphis Tap Room.
Yes.
Over in Northern Liberties.
Yeah.
And that place, when it closed, was very sad. So a new place moved in, Meeting House. Your son went there?
My son and his girl just went there last week. Loved it. They read Craig Laban's review.
Yeah.
Which was glowing.
Yeah. Well, I read it too, and Craig, who's the food writer and booze writer for the Inquirer, great guy, said, featuring house beers designed by partner Colin McFadden, formerly of Tired Hands, good credentials, crushable, balanced, moderate alcohol beers, brewed to Meeting House's specs by Tonewood and Oak Lynch. So they're not making their own stuff, but they're having stuff designed.
More of that. I mean, it used to be people would just put their label on a beer that was already being made. I'm seeing a lot more of this, people saying, this is what I'd like to be made. Do that.
One other significant opening, I think, Two Locals Brewing Company in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's first black-owned brewery is debuting a brick-and-mortar place around Drexel, so looking forward to that. And I know some places are expanding, as you said. There's more like we have a place, let's open another place. Second Sin, I think we've done some shows there. Human Robot, another good place. Bonesaw Brewing in Glassboro, New Jersey. Broad Street Brewing in Bristol opened a tap room. So there is some good news among it. Okay.
One that I was just particularly happy to see, Columbia Kettle Works from Columbia, Pennsylvania, is opening in the former Stouts Brewery, which just broke my heart when they closed. And
you need something there.
Yeah.
All right, one other story I want to get in here. Did you have anything else to say about the openings? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, just there's this big, huge project out in Pittsburgh. 3 breweries in one building.
3 breweries in one building?
Yeah, pub crawl at the same address.
So that's either, I've never
I
heard
know
of
that's
that.
either going to be a great thing or it's going to be a disaster.
That's either a great idea or a terrible idea. You know what? I love it, though.
Yeah.
We'll get a beer here, we'll get a beer here, we'll get a beer here. You drive home.
Yeah.
I like it. All right.
There you go.
One other thing I want to get in. It's not local, but just a very interesting story about 2023. Bud Light is no longer the #1 selling beer in America. Bud Light had been the #1 selling beer in America since forever. It is now Modelo Especial.
Which still, it blows my mind that it's Modelo and not Corona.
That's a better product.
It's better beer, but
That's what I think.
yeah.
It dethroned Bud Light. It's a Pilsner style, very drinkable beer. Gain on Bud Light. I don't know if the boycott of Bud Light had to do with it.
Had something to do with it. It was
I think
a big
momentum,
drop, but yeah, there
momentum
was
going
definitely
that way.
momentum going that way.
All right, coming up, Lou and I are going to take the opportunity to talk to some of these fascinating people who won their opportunity to get here. We're going to ask them really stupid questions and see if we get smart answers. With Lou Bryson, I'm Glen Macnow at Ship Bottom Brewing. We are filming an episode of What's Brewing?
Hey, Ben. Sorry, Glenn.
Hi, Andrew Colligan, purveyor of fine Conshohocken Brewing Company beer. I find myself in a bit of a quandary, Andrew. I love Conshohocken Brewing Company beer, but which one is my favorite? Ooh, I do love Type A IPA.
Our #1 selling beer for a reason.
Yes, and Hazy Life Coach IPA. Oh, this one is delicious.
Hazy, juicy goodness.
Wonderful, and who wouldn't love that? Who doesn't love Ring the Bell American Lager?
The perfect choice to pair with our Philly sports teams or anytime.
You know what? I think it's Ring the Bell for me, but now the question is, what's the right quantity?
I think I might have something perfect for you. Ring the Bell 12 packs.
Why, you've nailed it. Now available in convenient 12-ounce 12 packs at any beer store near you. This is wonderful. But how will all of this fit on the back of my horse?
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing. I'm going to go out here and annoy these people with some silly questions. Come along. Okay, so what's your name?
John.
John? That's a good solid name.
It is.
What got you here?
You.
No, what picture was it?
My picture.
But thank you.
My picture with Tom Cahill from Yards, the Phillies, the Eagles game.
Very nice. That's a great get. What was the last thing you Googled?
Lou Bryson.
I'm starting to feel set up here. If you could switch places with anyone in the world for a day, who would it be?
Lou Bryson.
Do not. Oh boy. Okay. If you had to choose between friendship or money for the rest of your life, which do you choose?
Well, I need money to buy beer, so.
Fair enough. Money and beer will get you friends.
No. It'll get me beer, though. It's my friend.
That's true. Okay. Have a beer. Thank you, John. Tom, what was your picture for?
The oldest beer. I had a sassy cola-flavored malt liquor from sometime in the past that I found in my parents' house after my dad passed away.
Did you drink it?
No.
Smart move. Very smart move.
The cap was a bit rusty.
What's your name?
Arlene.
Arlene.
Yes.
Oh, very nice. Old school.
Yeah.
I like
totally.
that.
I was named after my grandmother,
Oh.
which is the reason I got my picture in the episode because my grandmother was my multi-generational picture.
That's great. That's very nice. Oh, I love that. A namesake
We
picture.
call her Mutz, though.
They're going to call you that when you get older, you know?
I can handle it.
So, who is your favorite musician, author, actor, artist?
Ani DeFranco.
Oh, very nice. Okay. All right. Who is your celebrity crush?
That's a good one. Probably Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, okay. All right. And you have a week's all-expenses-paid vacation. Right now, where do you go?
Asheville, North Carolina, to hit every single brewery they have.
She's worthy. Have a beer. So, Mike, what photo did you submit?
So I had a picture of myself drinking a beer in the Azores.
Ooh, nice.
It was at Peter Cafe Sport. It is a little gin bar on the island of Fayal in the town of Horta, and pirates and...
It's been a hell of an impression on you.
Oh my God, I couldn't wait to get there. So people that do transatlantic journeys on sailboats, boats, whatever, that was like a stopping point. It's a little more than halfway from here to Portugal.
Okay.
So, I mean, just the history of the place.
Ask you, did you get a drink from Brandy, the sailor's girl, in the song? Was she there?
Brandy was not there. My wife was there,
Probably just as well then.
And so I looked at Brandy. I did not talk to
Take a
Brandy.
pass.
You know how
Okay.
that goes. You know how that goes.
So, I'll ask you the questions.
All right, right on.
What was your nickname growing up? Sorry.
Meatball.
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 Okay. What was the best thing that happened to you this week?
This week.
Just this week.
Coming here and drinking beers with you.
Oh, wow.
Great answer. Lou, I'm a public school educator. This is as good as it gets during the week.
Nice, that's true.
Right on, brother.
Okay, really simple question.
All right.
Mayonnaise or Miracle Whip?
Oh, mayonnaise.
Okay.
You got to go full strength, or there's no point.
Drink your beer.
Mexican style.
Oh, yeah. No, put it in you. Yeah, there you go. Well, that was fun. Glenn and I are going to be back to talk to Robert Zarko from Ship Bottom again right after this.
So, what do you want to do today?
Today, I want to run. I want to skate.
Thank you.
I want to see a show. I want to play. I want to eat, like a lot. I want to sleep in a hotel. Can we do all that?
We can do all that and more.
Hey, welcome back to What's Brewing with Lou Bryson. I'm Glen Macnow. This is Robert Zarko. Robert Zarko runs this fine establishment, Ship Bottom Brewing. This place here in Swarthmore, you've got the place down the Jersey Shore.
Yes, in Beach Haven, New Jersey.
Beach Haven, New Jersey. You're doing the great stuff out at Lynn Villa.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We love it. We love being there several times before. And you're nice enough to host this great party of all of our winners from the photo contest this year. There you go.
My people.
Yeah, it is. It is. Now, before we get into some of the stuff, the barrel-aged stuff, actually, before we do that, let's even talk about the food here, because a nice food truck came and just delivered all this great stuff, which we're smelling but can't eat, which is not always easy.
This is from Hunt's Annex. They've been there for a long time in Woodland. They just recently got a food truck. They're known for the wings. Their wings are one of the best I've ever had.
Yeah.
But they also have smash burgers, roast pork sandwiches, chili, barbecue pork sandwich, you name it.
Lou and I are looking forward to doing some damage on that. But, spoiler, next episode, which will be our season finale, we're going to talk about our favorite beers of the year. It is not a surprise to say that Ship Bottom Mexican Stout is one that I've enjoyed for a long time. But this is a different version? What do we got going?
This is a nitrogen version. We pour this exclusively at Swarthmore. Some of our bars and restaurants have it too, out in the trade. Very rich. I love this beer. I'm drinking the same thing.
Oh,
Cheers.
Yeah. Lou, explain what nitrogen version, not virgin. It's not a virgin. What nitrogen version?
You're using a...
It's a show about drinking beer.
Things happen.
Yeah.
Rather than the straight carbon dioxide you usually push a tap with, this is a mix of what's called beer gas. It's carbon dioxide and nitrogen. Was about 25% nitrogen?
Yeah.
Something like that. The big difference is the nitrogen has smaller bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gives it a creamy feel.
Yeah, you get that. It's not as carbonated, but it's really...
It's very dense.
Yeah. I love this. This
Thank
is
you.
really good.
Thank you.
All right. So we are here. It is a Blendery and Barrel House, and we talked at the start of the show about barrel-aged beers. We tried your one called Peach. Tell us a little bit about some of the things you're doing.
So we actually don't brew at this facility. We brew in Beach Haven, New Jersey, and then we tanker our wort to our facility here. We pump it out, and then we ferment and age in oak barrels. So we have a version of this coming out. I think it's the 23rd of December, where it's a bourbon barrel aged.
Wait, a version of this?
Yes.
Hello. When is that coming out?
The 23rd of December.
Hold on. Let me write this down. Let me get my calendar out here, actually. That'd be the smart move.
Yeah.
Wow. That's, yeah.
And that'll be in 375 ml bottles. So that's something that's very approachable. Will be about 12% alcohol on that beer, but it's got the flavors and nuances of the bourbon barrels, and it just works really well. We're doing a lot of projects down there. I was telling Lou earlier, we have a porter that's fermenting and aging in a hoodoo barrel. A hoodoo barrel is a liqueur that's made in chicory.
I don't know what hoodoo is.
Yeah, it's a chicory barrel that New Orleans has, and they make a liqueur in there under a full moon. So it's pretty cool. It's got this voodoo kind of stuff, voodoo hoodoo.
No, help me out here. What do we know about this?
I don't know. It's as my dad would say, it's his lie. Let him tell it.
Okay.
So
I don't know.
I'm transferring a bunch of stuff, getting into different bottles. So we're going to have some interesting stuff come out every quarter. You know, don't have a big facility here, but we have enough to have fun.
That's great. I just love the whole idea that you have a blending facility.
Yeah, and in blending, you basically, if I put something in a bourbon barrel and I think it needs a little more something else, then I'll move to a rum barrel.
All right, so here's my question. So a lot of this is experimental, right? So it's like, let's take this beer, put it in this barrel, age it for how long?
Some of the beers down there are 15 months, but anywhere from a year to 15 months. So 15
months later, you come back, you break that thing open, let's try some. You have no idea how it's going to be, right? I mean, it could be great, it could not be great.
No idea.
You taste along the way, so you put...
you taste along the way, okay.
Yeah, you put little nails in the side of the barrel, you draw samples, and you see how it tastes.
Okay.
And then when you get to a point, you'll say, hey, this is where I think
It's
the
ready.
beer should be. Yeah.
It's gone full term.
Yeah. And we did a cool ship beer. We did that with Source Brewing. They're out of Colts Neck, New Jersey. They have a facility in Fishtown also. We actually took a cool ship, which is an open fermenter. We put it in a van. We brewed there, and we just left the van open at night and let the wild yeast from the field come up.
You had a cool ship in the back of a van? What was it, a wading pool?
Pretty much, yeah. It looks like you would embalm somebody in this, but we were able to get yeast from the air and then basically ferment off that yeast. So that takes, I believe it's toxic for an amount of time.
Oh, great.
And then it changes over.
When do I get to try that beer?
Yeah, hey, I think you'll like it.
We did a show recently on wild ales, and it is interesting. You don't know what direction they're going, but they go.
Yep. So either it turns out great, it turns out terrible, and you dump it. But most of the time, these beers turn out great. And
I'm just fascinated by the idea that it's in Colts Neck, because that's where Laird's has their aging house for the Applejack. And I'm like, is there stuff floating around?
Yeah, and there's a lot of New Jersey breweries that are using Laird's barrels now. So.
Yeah.
So I really love this place in Swarthmore. Am I right thinking you were the first place to serve liquor in Swarthmore?
No, it was actually the Inn came first.
Oh, the Inn,
and then
of
the
course.
Co-op, they have to
Yeah,
go.
the Inn is there.
And
Okay.
then there's a wine bar, and then us.
And then you, okay.
So I didn't have that hard of a time. If I would have been the first one in,
Yeah, it was
the
kind of a
Center,
dry.
I
It was
might have got beat up
almost
little
a
bit.
dry town.
Yeah.
Give people your hours here. Days and hours.
Hours right now are Thursday from 4 to 9, Friday from 4 to 10, and then Saturday from noon to 11, and then Sunday we're open all
And when
day.
can I get this Nitro Mexican Stout?
Every day.
Every day. Come for that alone, it's great, but everything else is fun. All right. Hey, we appreciate everybody viewing. We appreciate all these nice people who came out. We like them so much, we're going to let them stick around for a whole other week so that we'll do another episode of What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Montgomery Maker's Passport. Download your free digital pass and sip your way through Montgomery County. By the Conshohocken Brewing Company, featuring 4 locations and available at beer retailers throughout the tri-state area. And by support from the Pennsylvania Malt and Brewed Beverage Industry Promotion Board and grant funding from the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board.